Now, from Wish TV, this is The Zone Extra, presented by Old National Bank. Coming up tonight, the busy spring sports season rolls on. In the Coach's Corner, we're joined by the man leading a top 10 baseball team in Class 3A. Plus, our athlete of the week is one of the state's top golfers, looking to bring a championship to Westfield.
Very motivated. I've worked really hard over this offseason at the grind, and my mind, especially my mindset, and I'm going to take that next league. I'm going to win it.
It's time to get into the swing of a new Zone Extra right now.
Good evening and welcome to the Zone Extra. I'm Andrew Chernoff. What a great week of high school sports across central Indiana. In the Coach's Corner, his Guerin Catholic baseball team is ranked in the top 10 in Class 3A this week. Golden Eagles head coach Dave Schrage is here in studio to talk about his team. Plus, our athlete of the week is an IU commit and one of the top high school golfers in the state. We'll introduce you to Westfield senior Jake Cesare. And in our on-campus segment, we hear from former Indiana Mr. Football and Notre Dame captain Jake Cesare after his selection in last week's NFL draft. Now let's take a look at this week in high school sports. Last Thursday in the Hoosier Crossroads baseball action, it was Noblesville taking on Franklin Central. Top of the third, Isaac Kammer right here with the single to left. That brings home Anthony Santillana, and Franklin Central ties it at 1. Then in the bottom of the inning, Millers respond. Cole shot. That's a shot to left center, and that's gone. Noblesville retakes the lead. Then we go to the bottom of the fourth. 2 on for Aiden Reynolds, and this ball ain't coming back. 3-run homer for the junior. Noblesville wins it 5-1. Meanwhile, Saturday, Carmel was up in Fort Wayne for a doubleheader against Carroll. After winning the opener, Hounds looking for the sweep. Top of the first, Hounds send this ball to right, and that falls in for a double. Hounds take a 2-0 lead, and they do not look back in an 8-1 victory to sweep the series. So here's a look at this week's Class 4A baseball coaches poll. Penn is number 1, Fishers is second, and we have a tie for third between Homestead and Center Grove. Lake Central, meanwhile, is in 5th. To softball, where we are into the final month of the regular season. In fact, the sectional draw takes place on Sunday as teams learn their postseason paths. On the diamond last Thursday, it was Mooresville hosting Brownsburg. Scoreless in the bottom of the first here when Reagan Bauer shot to deep left, and it's gone. 2-run homer gives the Pioneers the lead. Same score then in the 5th inning. How about Jocelyn Hornet? Rips it to left center, and this is a 2-run double, and just like that, we are tied. We've got a thriller going on in this thing. Still tied then, bottom of the 6th. Pitch kicks away from the Brownsburg catcher. Pioneers score on the play to take the lead, and they go on to win it 3-2. Saturday, it was Center Grove hosting Bedford North Lawrence as part of the Russ Milligan Classic. Top of the first is where we start. Sarah Williams with the ground out, but sacrifice brings home a run. Stars go up 3-0 early. Game now tied in the bottom of the 4th. May Munson at the dish, and that goes into the outfield. That scores 2 runs. Trojans go on to win it 12-3 is your final. So here's a look at this week's coaches poll in Class 4A for softball. Lake Central, number 1, Center Grove, 2nd, and then Zionsville, Penn, and Noblesville are 3rd, 4th, and 5th, respectively. Meanwhile, last weekend featured the first ever boys volleyball Marion County and City Alliance championships in the county final. Congrats to Ron Colley. The Royals defeated Franklin Central in straight sets. Meanwhile, Cathedral wins the city championship with a straight set victory over Covenant Christian. Last Thursday on the court, it was Whiteland hosting Greenwood in mid-state conference action. Greenwood serving for the second set right here. Caleb Oliver. How about the ace? Takes the set. Match tied at 1 set apiece. Woodman, though, with match point here in the 4th set. Whiteland serving. Greenwood able to get it back over the net. They go on to win the match in 4 sets. To the Lynx, and congrats to the Ron Colley boys golf team as the Royals won the Marion County Championship on Monday at Sarah Shank Golf Course. Ron Colley won the event over Brebeuf on the 5th score tiebreaker. Meanwhile, in basketball, congrats to Greenfield Central senior Braylon Mullins, who was named 2025 Indiana Mr. Basketball. Mullins led the state in scoring at nearly 33 points per game, while also averaging 7 boards per contest. The UConn signee was previously named the Indiana Boys Basketball Gatorade Player of the Year and a McDonald's All-American. Mullins says the thing he's most proud of, though, is the impact he's had on his town.
Just an imprint for the future community and everything else. So just having everybody look up to me and say, yeah, I want to play varsity basketball, and have that name just symbolize Greenfield Central. It's been a great year. I mean, the last 2 years especially, so I'm grateful for it.
Braylon's a special young man and deserves any and all recognition. He's a very humble young man, comes from a great family, so he deserves any and all recognition that comes his way.
And check this out as we enter the month of May. Last week, Speedway High School unveiled its brand new turf football field that will debut for the Sparkplugs in the fall. The field features checkered flag end zones and school colors, plus Indianapolis Motor Speedway wing and wheel logo at midfield. Look at that, the end zones are great. At midfield, the 50-yard line marked by a yard of bricks. How awesome is that? And maybe qualifications could be around that track. So, Elio, get out there to Speedway High School. That's an awesome field. Time for a break, but we have much more ahead on the Zone Extra. Up next, it's the Coach's Corner. His Golden Eagles, there he is. Our top 10 team in Class 3A, Guerin Catholic baseball coach Dave Schrage is here in studio. And still ahead, he's one of the top golfers in the state and has his eyes set on a state championship. We'll introduce you to our Athlete of the Week from Westfield High School.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Old National Bank. This is the Zone Extra Coach's Corner.
Welcome back to the Zone Extra. Time now for the Coach's Corner. His team currently ranked 8th in Class 3A. We want to welcome to the Zone Extra Guerin Catholic baseball head coach Dave Schrage. Dave, appreciate it as always.
Good to be here.
Anytime. Okay, we are now through April. What do you like about your group?
It's been a fun group to be around. They come to the park every day excited to play and learn, and we're really kind of a young team with only 5 seniors. So we have to do a lot of teaching, and they've got to know me. I get to know them this first month, being a new coach back at the high school level. But overall, just love being around the kids, and they just show great enthusiasm every day.
We'll get to that, obviously being your first year back as a high school head coach for a while in just a second. But this group in general, you mentioned how young they are. I know there's a bunch of guys that come to mind. Ben Canada is obviously doing a great job. The potential for this year's group going forward, the expectations I'm sure are there, but is it sort of fun knowing they are young?
It is. You know, I was rather surprised we were ranked early on in the season where we were, with as young as we are. So it bodes well for the future. I mean, most of the kids we put on the field, you know, Ben Canada, you mentioned, is a sophomore. Carson Kale, our catcher, is a sophomore. Tate Troxel, our number 1 pitcher, is a junior. Luke Gremmelsbacher, another pitcher, he's a junior. So to know, hey, we're going to be back together next year and be working together as a group is really exciting to see where we can take the program.
For you, okay, let's get into it. This is your first year at Guerin Catholic. Obviously, you have been a coach. You know what you're doing. You've been at 7 different colleges as a head coach, most recently here in Indy at Butler. So the big question, that was a couple years ago, was the last time you were there. Mm-hmm. What's the biggest adjustment going to high school?
Well, for me, just being a little more patient, you know, and remembering that, you know, they are 16, 17-year-old kids, and, you know, and have to sometimes take a step back. And to be honest with you, you know, the talent level is good, so that's been a good transition. But just kind of having to really teach the fundamentals and get back to the making the little plays and the simple plays, and understanding that, hey, we might make some mistakes and we got to learn from those mistakes and get better, has been, you know, probably my biggest adjustment. And just, you know, getting back into coaching after 2 years off has been a real treat for me. I've enjoyed it. I appreciate the opportunity to be at Guerin Catholic. It's a school that matches my faith, and you know, I just appreciate Ryan giving me the opportunity to get back in it, and it's just been great. It's rejuvenized me as far as being around all these young kids every day on a daily basis, and has my energy level up a little bit too.
We can see that right there, even in the video at practice this week, Dave. Your story of when you were hired, I was reading, was wild. So you got notified in a hospital that you had made the second round of interviews?
Basically, I interviewed for the job, and about 3 days later, I had a heart attack. And so was in the hospital and got home, had some surgery done, got home, and I just let Ryan Davis know that, hey, I don't know how this affects my candidacy, but I'm in the hospital with a heart attack, and I didn't hear from him. So I thought, well, I'm not going to get the job, and then got home and said, hey, I'm home, just so you know. And he responded, hey, that's great. Can you come in tomorrow and interview with the principal? And I was like, well, could I have maybe 1 or 2 more days to recover? But so then I went in and went on the second round of interviews, and then didn't really hear from him for a couple weeks. And then he called and offered me the position, and so I was ecstatic. So I said, if I could survive that and still get the job, I think I'm meant to be there.
No doubt. And I know that your players are excited you're there as well. We caught up with some of them to get their thoughts on you being there as their head coach.
What I love most is all the experience he brings to the game. You could ask him anything about any situation, he'll have the answer. And I guess it's just like, it's easy to play for somebody that just knows so much, and you could make a mistake and he'll just have the answer for what you need to do.
It's just really nice, the kind of fun approach he has. He understands in the grand scheme of things that these games are very important to win, but also what's most important is to just learn from them, not make the same mistakes again, and hopefully that'll lead to a strong postseason run.
Okay, so Dave, you hear that from your players. What goes through your mind?
That's great. They're getting the message. You never know sometimes as a coach, but those were 2. Ian Taylor, another junior player, one of our leaders. That's in the 3-hole for us, and started last year as a sophomore. So, and then Holden Finnegan he's been one of our nice surprises this year, coming in relief, has saved 3 games for us and done a great job. So great to see those guys. It's really a blessing working with the kind of student athlete we have there. They've just been awesome to work with, and they've accepted me, and we're having a good time right now. So we'd like to win a few more games, but overall practices are enthusiastic and exciting and just fun to be there.
You'll have a chance to win a few more games coming up. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for Guerin Catholic baseball. Cinco de Mayo at Zionsville, then May 6th at North Central. Then you guys take on Park Tudor, Fort Wayne Bishop Luers, South Bend St. Joseph. Dave, I know this program has never won that sectional title. How much motivation is that, especially when you start to get into May?
It's a lot. I mean, that's something that we're striving to be. We told them we don't want to be playing our best baseball in April. We want to be playing our best baseball in May. And the schedule that was put together for us is really preparing us for that. I mean, you saw those 2 teams there. We've played Andrean, who's ranked #1. We're going to play 2 more ranked teams. We're playing large schools like Noblesville and North Central, and Park Tudor's a good program. So we've been tested already, and our conference is very strong with Brebeuf, and Roncalli's having a great year. So we're definitely being tested every night. And our sectional this year is a little different. The Indiana High School Association rearranged it. So Brebeuf's in it, which is always kind of our rival there. But most of the other schools now are farther west, with Crawfordsville and Tri-State Hendricks and Frankfurt and Lebanon. So it'll be new this year. It'll be at Brebeuf, but we're hoping to play our best baseball at that time of the year.
Definitely going to be here around the corner. Dave, always appreciate it, and hey, best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Anytime. Best of luck to the Golden Eagles. Still ahead on the Zone Extra, it's time for our Athlete of the Week. He's one of Indiana's top high school golfers on the #1 ranked team in the state. Coming up, meet Westfield senior Jake Cesare. Plus, we go on campus with former Notre Dame standout and new Jacksonville Jaguar, Jack Kaiser.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Old National Bank.
Welcome back to the Zone Extra. Westfield is the top-ranked boys golf team in the state, and the Rocks will certainly be one of the favorites at next month's IHSAA state finals. A key reason for the Rocks' success is the performance of senior Jake Cesare. At last year's state finals, Cesare was the individual runner-up, and he's finished in the top 10 at state in each of the past 3 seasons. The Rocks have been the team runner-up for the last 3 years and are looking to get back to the top of the podium. Now, Cesare comes from a golf family. His younger brother Ryan is on the Rocks team with him this season. And next year, Jake will join his older brother Alec at IU on the Hoosiers golf team. The sibling bond over golf is something that Jake certainly cherishes.
It's really special. I mean, it's really rare to have three guys who are competing at the top of the top game. And it's just Alec and Ryan, they both push me to be the best I can be. And it's just really cool.
Jake has obviously been in our lineup from day one, arriving at Westfield, which is pretty unique. We don't have many four-year starters, just with kind of the depth we've had. Where I've seen, he's obviously grown, he's got more powerful, and that has translated obviously into even some of the lower scoring that you've seen.
I've learned a lot from the past seniors. I mean, they're great. They were all great leaders for me, and I've kind of used some of their knowledge, took a page out of their book, and yeah, becoming a leader.
A lot of growth in that area. We had 3 seniors last year, so a lot of the juniors also stepped up into leadership roles. His willingness to spend time with the younger guys. Last year we were the youngest team at the state finals. Most people didn't know that, but if you looked at, we've got everyone back this year, and Jake spent a lot of time with those those sophomores.
I just want to grow my game. I just want to get to that next level, become a professional golfer. Not just that. I just want to become a better person in general, and just show the younger people that you can make it.
Congrats and good luck to Jake. Do not forget, Wish TV's got a brand new sports app. Get out your phones right now, scan that QR code on your screen to download the completely free All Indiana Sports app. You can find more on this story, plus all things Central Indiana High School sports, and so much more. Get the All Indiana Sports app today. Time for a break, but we've got more to come here on the Zone Extra, including our Ask the Commissioner segment with that man, Paul Neidig of the IHSAA.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Old National Bank.
Welcome back to the Zone Extra. Now it's time to go on campus, where we catch up with a former Indiana high school athlete as they compete at the next level. This week we're talking about the NFL draft. Notre Dame linebacker Jack Kaiser was selected in the 4th round of the draft by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Before Notre Dame, Kaiser was the winner of the 2018 Indiana Mr. Football Award at Pioneer High School, where he won a pair of state titles. Last season with Notre Dame, Kaiser became the program's all-time leader in games played and was a team captain as the Irish reached the national championship game. Jack says that Notre Dame prepared him not just for football, but for life.
I went to Notre Dame for a reason. That wasn't to be a great football player, but be a great person. And, so everything I do in life, I'm going to try to do it the right way. Even if it means having to, do things a little bit harder or takes a little bit longer. I think there's merit to doing it the right way. And so that's just kind of the person I have always been, who I've been raised to be, and then what I've always wanted to be. And so, all my choices, I try to make sure reflect that.
He's a heck of a football player. Now it's time for Ask the Commissioner. Each week we take one of your questions to IHSA Commissioner Paul Neidig and bring you his answer. Here's this week's question. Are you a big reader? And if so, what kind of books do you enjoy reading?
Primarily a nonfiction, and I'm more of an audible guy, or books on tape person. So I spend a lot of time in the car. And it's just easy for me to put a book on and listen to it. And one of the most recent ones was a book called Outliers. I really like that. The Tony Dungy's series of books have meant a lot to me over the years. And I still go back to those occasionally because those leadership lessons and those lessons of life translate into so many other things. And so, that's kind of where I spend my time. And again, it's a lot of windshield time. So I get an opportunity to listen to those books as I travel around the state.
Paul, does listening to books count as reading? Come on, I'm kidding. Awesome stuff right there. Thanks again to the Commissioner for joining us. Here's how you can submit questions. Send us a tweet using the hashtags #TheZoneExtra and #TheCommish, and your question could be used on a future show. That's going to do it for us tonight on the Zone Extra. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to tune in again next Thursday night for a brand new episode. And for even more Central Indiana High School sports coverage, download the All Indiana Sports app. Have a great night and a great rest of your week.